All right, everybody. I just want to start talking about the industry. We have different levels of, we have we'll call them videographer, YouTubers. That's what I'm doing right now, with just on my iMac, or you could use your phone. That's what most people operate in, especially when you're doing a daily broadcast. Then you have the E and G dynamics. Maybe it's called electronic news gathering. Then you have documentary filmmaking, which is a little bit more in depth, and it's getting more cinematic with the technology we have, with the FX6 and melody of different lenses. You can really do a high quality production. Then you got the narrative, the features and the shorts and the features that's more of a narrative, creative, dramatic tech or comedy, things of that nature. And then we have the business side of things. And right here, this thumb right here is something that a lot of people, that's the Achilles heel, and they get exploited. Right, recently, there's a lot of complaints on on what SAG is doing for even. It almost seems like they're endeavoring to help the little guy with a $20,000 production and under. And you can use SAG actors for those kind of productions. But ultimately, by the time anybody gets any the ability to do this for a living. Of course, that's what everybody wants to do. You want to do what you love to do and make a living at it. It's a real gift of God to do something that you wake up passionately to do. If you were a bass player and you play the bass guitar, and somebody hired you to play, and you could be a studio player, and it's a or if you're able to be a writer, and it's a romantic lifestyle. I think Rob Lowe said that one time, that to be a really romantic lifestyle, to be able to just get up and start writing and daydream and document. I mean, that's a fun thing to do. And that's what I did for the past 25 years, is daydream and document it, because I was waiting for technology to catch up to the quality of the medium that I wanted to do my work with. So the 50 plus screenplays I've been working on since the late 1980s, I'm going through them now. I'm re-editing them. I'm sanctifying some of them as they need to be sanctified, because my relationship with the Lord is more important than anything else. But um, I think the you can learn your trade as a videographer or a YouTuber. You can learn your trade as a E&G. That's why I got some Z200s. It's an E&G camera. Everything's in focus. I want to capture things. I'm gonna do run and gun, follow things, document things, and then upload them. And courtesy of Salvatore Frisella. So, you know, and then we get into documentary stuff, which is really something that I enjoy. There's days when I just want to veg out, and I want to learn something. I never stop wanting to learn, and so documentary filmmaking has always been my go-to. Whether it's National Geographic and vegging out on a Saturday after outgrew cartoons as a kid, eating my cereal, watching the hunter, the lion hunt, and the gazelle or whatever, and rooting for the gazelle. um, so all that stuff right here, the fingers here, that's our passion. It's the art, it's the science, it's the tradesmen that mostly I'm going to be talking about. But every once in a while, I need to talk about the business side of things. And right now, I'm seeing a lot of complaints about the new SAG rules for those smaller budgets productions, and they're not actually doing the filmmakers any favors, because it might be literally years before you see a penny on that project. Well, the goal is to be able to do your project with your creativity, with the best talent you can do, use within your budget. Is it a blessing? It depends on how you look at it. If you're looking to make next month's rent, it's not gonna help you. But could you do a better first time project when you see people who have written some and produced and made their calling card to go and come into the Hollywood? I have no desire to be in Hollywood. I might do some union gigs here and there, but I don't think I'll be part of the union project too long. because of I like control. Well, you can call me a control freak. I don't care. But I want my project to be my project. My name is going to be on it. There's things that I'm going to be writing, that the scripts I'm going through, that I might revamp it and do it under a pseudonym because I'm gonna sell it to somebody. Hemingway said when they asked him what'd you think about with the book that he wrote, and he said, if I sell a car, I'm not going to go calling the owner and say, why'd you paint it differently. He divorced it. It was a transaction. So I probably would want to take my name off that and put it under a pseudonym, because I am a Christian, and I don't want to do soft porn. I don't want to have uh, cussing. I don't want to have certain things. To me, it's not creative. It's not real. It's real primitive. It's the lowest common denominator. Do it creatively, that could entertain and teach, and to show levels of intelligence and creativity that would stimulate the mind and stimulate the heart as well as emotions. Then maybe, yeah, that's the goal. But to just this is real, this is the way people really talk. Well, yeah, that's you're not wrong, but is it entertaining for people? Not for me. Maybe, I mean, I'm sure there's millions of people who feel that's good entertainment. It doesn't work for me. And I think I also represent multiple millions of people. We got 2+ billion Christians on planet Earth. So I'm not alone in this. I don't want to watch stuff. One, I don't want to watch vain amusements, and two, I don't want to watch stuff that's inappropriate for my conviction and my beliefs. So that's founded on the scriptures. And that still doesn't mean you don't have to cuss to make things more dramatic. That's actually if you ever talk to somebody who talks and every other word is the F word, it's like, you're saying some good stuff, but could you pick some different adjectives, please? Because right now I'm having a hard time picking through all your frontal lobe shutting down to burp out curse words. You lose your credibility if you're going to be talking to me. Well, it's the same thing in movies and narratives. I don't have that. It doesn't work for me, and I'm not alone in that. So, business side of things, is it beneficial to uh, use union actors and becoming a union project after filling out all this paperwork and justification? To me, it's almost a trick. Um, I like the notion of, like, when back in the day when Charlie Chaplin, he used his own money. He had his own studio. He took 2 years to do a scene. How do I get the blind woman to know, and the confusion, and he worked it and worked it and worked it. Well, that's his prerogative. It was his intellectual property. It was his studio. He was beholden to nobody. And we finally have the technology where we can do the things that if he had the technology, what would have he done? You know, Same thing with a lot of other independent filmmakers, pre 1990s or 1990s ish. Um, we have our heroes from Tarantino to Robert Rodriguez to Kevin Smith, Burns, and so on, that they went ahead and risked their credit cards and other people, your family's money to make their debut. Well, I mean, I don't know. I have to do some research on this, but were they union gigs, or were they just their buds? You know, um, I think SAG is doing a grave mistake in juicing the $20,000 below project. There's the temptation. Hey, if I can get a union actor to do this project, I still got to pay them before I ever get any money for that. The goal is to transition from my job into my career, and I just think it's a travesty to see it. It looks good. It's like the forbidden fruit, and you think you're going to be doing it, and it's going to be the catalyst to get you um, to take off in your career. But in reality, I think it's going to cause more headaches. Success is simple, failure is complicated. I'll say it again: success is simple, failure is complicated. And I think it's important to you need to be aware of who you're going to be um, working with. Um, I just did a talk in the car this morning about um, I don't want to say her name. I don't want to. I mean, I hope she's changed her in moral and ethical ways. But when you hire an actor, I'll work a second job for a year, so I have money to pay that actor for that gig, and that's the end of the transaction. And I'm hiring them as an actor. I'm not going to hire them to hijack my project. And the contract is the contract. And if you want to backdoor draft the entire project to do and take it over, you're going to get fired. Just that simple. Now, the director of that situation probably didn't own it. He didn't have the kind of authority that he should have had on the set, and therefore he didn't render the respect he was supposed to have on that set. And of course, it got a lot of stupid, unnecessary drama going on. Um, but yeah, you know, you do not want to want to keep these videos short. You do not want to sign over the ownership or sign over the how you're going to do your project. I'd rather do it for as Rodriguez did, just me and my camera and some friends that I can trust that are not going to show up and rewrite what I've been working on since the 1980s, and now you're going to show up and I'm going to rewrite your project. I don't want those people. I don't care if they're famous. I don't care that just because they're going to be on my project, it doesn't mean that I don't want them. I don't need their name. I'd rather be character driven anyways. I don't need to have to play the Hollywood game. And that's why I'm literally over 2,000 miles away, 3,000 miles away. So yeah, I would hope that SAG would recognize they're not doing anybody, at least the end of the filmmakers, you're not doing them a favor by doing it this way. It's not helping them out. You're hijacking their project. You're putting them through all these paces to not penalize them because they want a union actor. The unions and guilds were supposed to help people, not damage people. A guild is great when you're dealing with the multi-billion-dollar studio that's exploiting the writer and the producers and the actors and the filmmakers. That creates power to put them into a position where they can actually go, okay, sorry, we're going to give you your fair cut. That's great when it comes to that. But then when you do that to someone who's just trying to get going in their career, and now they're being hijacked. Now it's exploitative. It's bullying. It's hurting the little guy, and I'd rather not have it. I'd rather not. I'll just find somebody. I'll go to theaters and I'll work on. I'll do it on YouTube and look for. I'll do a casting call and I'll find my cast, and it won't be union, and they're not going to hijack my project. And when I sell my project or whatever, how I want to do it, it's going to be beneficial to everybody. There we go. That's my warning to cut it short because I can talk for hours about this. All right. Peace.